Hi everyone, today is our last group presentation and our topic is time orders and transitional signals. The part of my group is Andrianti, Ayu Patricia, and Emilia. So check it out.
Time order words signal the order in which events happen. They allow readers to understand a sequence of events. For example, first, specify the object, then specify the specific point that you want to capture. Last but not least, use your heart. Your portrait must have a meaning. Time order words establish clarity in our writing and take readers on a clear and cohesive journey. These words work in academic writing, fiction writing, professional writing, and technical writing. Keeping a time order words list nearby will help you move an essay or story forward.
Time order word list: before, earlier, previously, formerly, previous to, in the past. First, to begin, starting with, initially, originally, at the onset. Next, after, consequently, following, in turn, second, soon after. Sometimes, at times, from time to time, occasionally, periodically, rarely, seldomly. Last, finally, in conclusion, to conclude, in the end, ultimately, to finish. Simple sequence sentence: earlier, I took a saw you sitting in the courtyard. Consequently, I ran downstairs to find you. In the end, it was not meant to be. She was writing a book but pretending that she was preaching loud. She was very happy at the beginning until she was not. I found that every so often we could be happy if we practice gratitude. Ultimately, life is what we make of it. Now we are free at last. At the onset, my horse was trotting along happily. Periodically, he too stopped to pick a berry off a tree. At long last, we arrived at castle. Every now and then, I find myself dreaming about two soft golden fields.
The definition of transition signals. Transition signals are linking words or phrases that connect our ideas and add cohesion to our writing. These linking words or phrases signals or indicate the relationship between sentences and between paragraphs. It making us, the reader, to understand the ideas easier. There are some functions of using transitional signals. The first one is to show the order or sequence of events. For example, first, next, and after. And the second one is to indicate that a new idea or an example will follow. For example, in this case and specifically. Next is to show that a contrasting idea will be presented. For example, still, even so, and but. And the last one is to signal a summary or conclusion. For example, in conclusion, in the other words, and therefore.
Good evening, I am Emilia. I will explain about the type of transition signal. In one, sentences connectors are used to connect two sentences together. They are joined by the full stop, or period, or semicolon, and are followed by the comma. The following are examples of sentences connector. For example, transition signals are very useful, or however, they should not be should to begin every sentences. Contrast signal are one type of transition signal. In addition, there are others such as compound signal and addition signal. There are three main ways to improve cohesion in your writing. First, you can use transition signal. Clauses connector Clauses connectors are used to connect two clauses together to form one sentence. They are joined by a comma. For example, transaction signals are very useful, but they should not be used to begin every sentence. Although transaction signals are very useful, they should not be used to begin every sentence. Contrast signals are one type of transaction signal, and there are other such as comport signal and addicted signal. Other connectors follow different grammar patterns. Many are followed by non-phrase. Some are verb and should therefore be used as verb in a sentence. The following are examples of other connectors. Despite their importance in achieving cohesion, transaction signals should not be used to begin every sentence. Good choice is the ratio of using reported word, reference word, and transaction signal. It is clear that careful use of transaction signal will improve the cohesion in your writing. Contrast signal are one type of transaction signal. Other types is comparison signal.